Good afternoon and happy Memorial Day weekend. Tomorrow is the actual day, but today we'll be doing some Memorial Day celebration along with some religious stuff because it's Sunday. I hope everybody's having a good day as we go through continue to be on our shelter in place in Michigan anyway. So it's a bit warmer today, which is summer's starting to show up. I actually opened the windows here so I might get some outside noise. We're just a couple houses off Woodward, and occasionally like motorcycles or guys with those Japanese exhaust systems that are tuned to make as much noise as possible. I'm not sure what the point is, but I guess it's like when we were young, people used to do stuff like that with cars. So I guess it's just a new way of doing it. I see them racing like they're like these kind of sports cars, I guess, but with specialized mufflers. Oh well, we all do things that are fun. So I always like to start my Sunday show with a we'll be talking more about the flags and paraphernalia that I've got behind me. I'll talk about that a little bit more. This flag, 48-star flag from D-Day. My dad was at D-Day in a landing ship, or a landing ship tank they called it. He was ferrying supplies across the channel. That flag flew on that ship. We'll start with Psalm 23, a song that I wrote in 2015. Obviously the words come from Psalm 23, King David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. Leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in right paths for His name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear staff, comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Yes, my cup overflows. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Lord my whole life long. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Yes, it's a good way to start this special service here today. Travelin Bob Music Hour, focused on Memorial Day songs of remembrance and spiritual songs and religious songs. And this one is our national anthem. And I'll just say again that it was that I went to the Smithsonian Museum early this year, before all this Corona happened. We went to visit our son Andy and his wife Rachel and their son Kai in D.C., and we went to the Smithsonian and saw the actual flag that inspired this song, the Star Spangled Banner. It was from the War of 1812, and this actually occurred in 1814. And at that time, this huge flag, 30 feet by 42 feet over Fort McHenry, it's a huge flag, think about 30 by 42 feet. Had 15 stars and 15 stripes. So there was 15 states at that time. And as you know, we didn't keep adding stripes. We just added stars. Now we're up to 50. And they just went back to the original 13 stars. But this one had 15. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Now I'd like to do a song based on Psalm 91. I think my daughter says she texted it last time when I was singing this, and I don't see any things popping up in the chat, so you can help me if you just pop it up there if you know it. But on Eagle's Wings, I think it's Psalm 91, but you can correct me on that chat, or just post anything you feel like, for that matter. You who dwell in the shelter of the Lord, who abide in his shadow for life, say to the Lord, my refuge, my rock, in whom I trust, and he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn. fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day. Under his wings your refuge, his faithfulness your shield. For to his angels he's given a command to guard you in all of his ways. Upon their hands they will bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. And he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. Yes, he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you, and hold you, and hold you in the palm of his hand. We'll do a song that was written by Irving Berlin 102 years ago in 1918. God Bless America. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountain to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my own sweet home. God bless America, my own sweet home. Well, I wrote this song in 1996. And it was written based on a sermon that Rich Korash, the minister at First Congregational Church at the time, gave, and his favorite verse in the Bible, Philippians 4:8. So the reason, and basically his story was, he had a sermon he called What I've Always Said. And it was, the reason that he became a minister was the Cold War. And his thought was, if the missiles go up, they're going to come down, and if they come down, it's going to be a bad thing. So let's just keep the missiles from going up. So that this song is called Cold War, One Seed at a Time. planting seeds, slowly, deliberately, one seed at a time, knowing full well that one day fruit will ripen on the vine. But as I plant my seeds, I realize as visions slowly form before my eyes, like winter's early snow, we have a way to go. The mountain looks high, but I climb. Keep seeing but not seeing, knowing but not knowing why. Keep trusting while still questioning, though nothing in the world seems quite right. Our faith will show us the light. Whatever is true, whatever is honorable, it matters how I choose to live my life. Whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, the gift of love and hope and freedom fly. And if there really is excellence, and if there's anything worthy of praise, like winter's early snow, we have a way to go. The mountain looks high, but I climb. Keep seeing but not seeing, knowing but not knowing why. Trusting while still questioning, though nothing in the world seems quite right. Our faith will show us the light. But if the missiles go up, they will come down. They will come down, down, down. But if the missiles go up, they will come down. They will come down, down, down. Keep the missiles from going up. Planting seeds, slowly, deliberately, one seed at a time. All right, while I still have this tuning, I'll do another song. This one is a Vietnam era type song about Memorial Day, I guess. And it's called Travelin' Soldier. It was written by Bruce Robson in 1996. It's called Travelin' Soldier, and Dixie Chicks did it in 2002. This is not a Dixie. I'm not doing it like the way they do it. I do it more like the way Bruce does it. 2 days past 18, he was waiting for the bus in his army greens. Sat down in a booth in a cafe there, gave his order to the girl with a bow in her hair. He's a little shy, so she gave him a smile and said, would you mind sitting down for a while and talking to me? I feel a little low. She said, I'm off in an hour and I know where we can go. So they went down and they sat on a pier, and he said, I bet you got a boyfriend, but I don't care, I got no one to send a letter to. Would you mind if I sent one back here to you? I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy, too young for him, they told her, waiting for the love of the traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again, never more to be alone. The soldier's letter says the soldier's coming home. Well, the letters came from an army camp in California, then Vietnam, and he told her of his heart, how it could be love, and all the things that he was so scared of. He said, when it's getting kind of rough over here, I think about the day sitting down at the pier. I close my eyes, I see your pretty smile. Don't worry, but I won't be able to ride for a while. I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy, too young for him, they told her, waiting for the love of the traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again, never more to be alone, when the letter says the soldier's coming home. One Friday night at a football game, Boris Prayer said and the anthem sang, and one man said, folks, will you bow your heads for a list of a local Vietnam dead? Crying all alone under the stands was a piccolo player in the marching band, and one named Red, but no one seemed to care. Except the pretty little girl with the bow in her hair. I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy, too young for him, they told her, waiting for the love of the traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again, never more to be alone, when the letter says the soldier's coming. I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy, too young for him, they told her, waiting for the love of the traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again, never more to be alone, when the letter says the soldier's coming home. Never more to be alone, when the letter says soldier's coming home. So this next song, that one was a Vietnam era type song, I guess, as far as its intention. And as we all know, the Vietnam War was very, very divisive, and people were against the war, protesting the war, but still soldiers went and fought and died. And this one is a song that was a poem that was found in a hospital in the Philippines during World War II. So it's a World War II poem. And John Gorka, the nurse that had found the poem, kept it all these years and until recently. The recent wars, this is back in 2001, so the wars that were going on then, the Gulf War and all the things going out there in the Middle East, brought this thing back in. And so this thing's called Let Them In, Peter, like they're at the gates of heaven, right? Let them in, Peter. They are very tired. Give them couches where the angels sleep. Light those fires. Let them wake whole again to brand new dawn. Fired with the sun, not wartime's bloody guns. May their peace be deep. Remember where the broken bodies lie. God knows how young they were to have to die. God knows how young they were to have to die. Give them things they like. Let them make some noise. Give roadhouse bands, not golden harps, to these our boys. Let them love Peter, 'cause they've had no time. They should have trees and bird songs and hills to climb, a taste of summer in a ripened pear, and girls sweet as meadow wind with flowing hair. Let them tell them how they are missed, and say not to fear. It's gonna be all right with us down here. Let them in, Peter. Let them in, Peter. Let them in, Peter. And Peggy told me that she had an uncle that died in World War II. Obviously, she didn't know him because we both were born after World War II. Song by Vince Gill. It's called Go Rest High on That Mountain. I know your life on earth was troubled, and only you could know the pain. You weren't afraid to face the devil. You're no stranger to the rain. Go rest high on that mountain. Son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven shouting love for the Father and the Son. Oh, how we cried the day you left us. We gathered round your grave to grieve. Wish I could see the angels' faces when they hear your sweet voice sing. Go rest high on that mountain, Son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven a-shouting love for the Father and the Son. Go rest high on that mountain, Son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven a-shouting love for the Father and the Son. Go to heaven a-shouting love for the Father and the Son. Yeah, that's a very moving song. Very good, appropriate for a day of remembrance. Well, so Memorial Day traces back to the Civil War. It wasn't called Memorial Day back then, it was called Decoration Day, and it started right after the Civil War and down in Columbus, Mississippi, where the flowers were laid on the graves of both the Union and the Confederate dead in the Friendship Cemetery. And then, kind of grew from there, but it emerged from Decoration Day, Memorial Day, after World War II. And then it became a national holiday under federal law in 1967, so quite, much after World War II. Though it's known to be a day of remembrance for those who died for our freedom, we also celebrate it with patriotic songs, American songs, and songs about loss and comfort, as I've been doing, right? But right now I'd like to do what are called the fight songs, or the songs that are that the military, some of the branches, I don't know all the branches, I know a few of the branches, their songs. So I'll do a little bit of that right now. This is the Air Force. And I don't know if anybody that's listening was part of the Air Force. If you have been, go ahead and put it in the chat there, and I'll announce it. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. here we come, zooming to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give her the gun. Down we dive, sprouting the flame from under, off with one hell of a roar. I like that one. It's got a lot of spark. Now this one, I learned quite different lyrics when I was a kid. I learned it as the caissons go rolling along, but last year when I played it at a memorial service in Ypsilanti for where Tom Lutins was staying, and his wife Enid, I found out that they changed the words. So the ones that I sang when I was a kid on the swing set are no more. And it happened in, I think, in 1956. I mean, I should have known because I should have known, but I didn't. But they changed the word to instead of the caissons go rolling along, it's the Army goes rolling along. And it was written in 1908 and then updated apparently in 1956 to the new words. So I have a little struggle with the new words because you know how it is when you learn a song with certain words and then there's new ones that you get a little tripped up. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud to all we have done, proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. Then it's hi, hi, hey, the army's on its way. Count off your cadence loud and strong. For where'er you go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. Valley Forge, Custer's ranks, San Juan Hill and Patton's tanks, and the army goes rolling along. Minutemen from the start, and he's fighting from the heart, and the army goes rolling along. Then it's hi, hi, hey, and the army's on its way. Count off your cadence loud and strong. For wherever you go, we will always know that the army goes rolling along. I've got to ask, if you're in the army, please post on the chat or send me a text or whatever. I'll try to announce it. There's the caissons version, over hill, over dale, we'll hit the dusty trail. Probably you know that one too. Then there's the, I should have said, in the army. So my grandfather was in the army, and I'll show you some paraphernalia from that. He was in World War I. And there's this book here, big fat book, called the 331st Field Artillery, U.S. Army. I'll hold it up for you. I don't know if you can read that or not. Let me do it like that. And so in here, he was a corporal, and they have like pictures of them and descriptions of what they all did. It's kind of an interesting book. And so from that, though, in addition to the book, I have these little buttons that I think you put on your sleeve or someplace. I'm not sure what. They're little pins. And let's see here. I'm going to hold it up. This one says US 331, and the other one says 331 HQ. He was in the HQ, the headquarters portion of the 331. That's pretty hard to get. Let me get a little closer. Hold on. Got it? Okay. Probably the most interesting thing is his dog tags. So his name was. So these dog tags are hand stamped. It looks like something that I would have made when I was in 7th grade shop class. We used to make tools and bang into metal and make things like this. No, we didn't make dog tags, but so here's a couple dog tags, and let's see which one looks best. I guess this one looks best. This one, it says USA, and then Cedric C. Ridgway, and I'll hold that up. And on the back there's about a 6-digit number. So you can see that it's sort of a stamp thing that, handmade. So somebody stamped out all the thousands of dog tags. So that's the world. That was that. Now we're on to Anchors Away. And my dad was in the Navy. So here I'll show you. One thing is over here. So you can see it. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. I'll pull it up. This is his Navy photo. It's kind of glary. Sorry about that. Let me, if I could turn it. I don't know. You can kind of see it looks like a ridgeway, doesn't it? Anyway, that was my dad when he was probably. He got married when he was 28 or 9, so I'd say he's probably like 25 or something like that. He was a lieutenant, and in addition to his picture, I have his hat. So in here it says W.E. Ridgway, and I don't. Yeah, he has apparently a smaller head than I do. But isn't that cool? It's still still cool. And then this flag behind me. That flag has 48 stars, which is during World War II we had 48 states, and that was a flag. He was on a landing ship tank. It's a type of vehicle, a landing ship. They would bring supplies across. So that flag flew on his ship on D-Day as they were ferrying supplies across the channel. So he didn't come off, thank goodness. I mean, getting on land there was not a good deal, but I'm sure he saw a lot of things that nobody would ever want to see. Okay, so this is the Navy. My dad was in the Navy. My grandfather was in the Army. I was in none of that. I did have a low draft number, but then the Vietnam War ended, so I did not get drafted. Oh yeah, one more thing I want to say about the Navy. Tom Lutins, who died earlier this year, but who is my next door neighbor, he let me get this. He was in the Navy, and he ferried. His job was taking people across the sea, from across the Pacific. I think he said he had 23 or 26 voyages across in a ship ferrying troops. But he was in Hiroshima, a place that I lived twice. And he was there in February of 1946. Now, in August 6, 1945 is when they dropped the atomic bomb there. So he took a bunch of snapshots and put them together. I'm going to put this kind of close. You can kind of see it was a mess, big mess. So he gave me that because he knew I was in there. We were there for quite a while. In the middle of Hiroshima now, there's a Peace Park. And here's a picture of Peggy with some of our friends, Jenny and Brock and his dad, and that cenotaph is a thing in the middle of Peace Park, that cement structure behind them, and there's a pond around it, and that's one of the places that one of the beautiful. I mean, it's just they made a beautiful museum, I guess there, and they've left one building standing from then, and I've got a postcard showing that. So this is the end of World War II. Right, the bombing of so this is what this building looked like before the bombing, and this is what it looks like. It still looks like this today, pretty much. It didn't do well, and it did better than pretty much everything else looked like this. You can kind of see that it was really a just leveled, a lot of wood structures. And here's some. This is back, I think, taken right after the bombing. There's some people walking through the mess. So, and one more. This is in the museum they have there. They have the shadow of a human being. So, atomic bomb just sort of wiped out. But if you look at the picture on the left, there's like on the steps. There's a shadow of a human being. Really a sad thing. As you know, they had, maybe you don't know, but they had a bunch of students out clearing off. They thought they were going to firebomb Hiroshima like they did Tokyo. And so they were clearing out a bunch of stuff as like ways to stop the fire, and the kids were all out in the street when the bomb hit, so it was a horrible thing. But it did end the war. And politically, I mean, one of my sons wrote a report about why the bomb was used. There were 3 reasons. One was to end the war, the primary reason. Secondly, it was like to justify all the expense. They've spent a lot of money developing the bomb. If we didn't use it, what was, And third was to find out what it would do. And they had a couple cities, but they picked Hiroshima because they hadn't really bombed it yet. So there wasn't like some other bombing that had gone on. So you could just see what it did. And it definitely cleared it out. Okay, on with Anchors Aweigh. I digress. But Tom Lutins was my very good friend and a next door neighbor, and because we went and lived in Hiroshima when he was living there, and he'd been there. He shared with me a lot of things. So. Anchors aweigh, my boys, anchors aweigh. Farewell to foreign shores, we've sailed the break of day through our last night on shore. Drink to the foam until we meet once more. Here's wishing you a happy journey home. Well, that's Anchors Aweigh, and there's one more of these. This is the Marines hymn. Oh, look, I'm getting some stuff written here. Hang on, let me look at them. I gotta get my glasses. Well, it looks like Carol Lipson's dad was in the Army, and he got shot down and got home. So that's wonderful. That made Carol happen, right? She wouldn't have made it if he hadn't. That's wonderful. Thanks for sharing that, Carol. It is it's a tough thing to go off to war. My dad, would never want to go back into war. My mom wanted him to be in the reserve, and he said, nope, I'm never going back to war. And the people that got in the reserve after World War II ended up going to Korea, like Tom Lutins. And I guess if some people just don't want to ever do that again. They did it once. Once was enough. Okay, here's the Marines hymn. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land or sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine. Our flags unfurled to every breeze, from dawn to setting sun. We have fought in every clime and place where we could take a gun. In the snow of far-off northern lands, in the sunny tropic scenes, you will find us always on the job, the United States Marines. Here's health to you and to our corps, which we are proud to serve. Many a strife we fought and fought for life, and never lost our nerve. If the Army and the Navy ever looked on heaven's scenes, they will find, to laugh, they will find the streets are guarded by the United States Marines. I love the rivalry between the different services. Okay, that's the end of the, I call them the fight songs. I might go a little over today. I got a few more here to go. This one I wanted to do because this morning, Peggy and I listened to our church service on YouTube. Our church puts together a YouTube service every week, and it's it's asynchronous. Everybody just listens to it when they want to. We listened to it this morning, and our minister talked about now being the land in between, or being in between what we were and what we're going to be because of the virus and the pandemic. And I wrote a song, so I mean, and I agree, we're kind of in between something, but it turns out in life you're always in between here and there anyway. But I wrote a song called The Land in Between, more of a coming of age song, but I think it's appropriate for what we're going through right now. I wrote this one in 2009. It's called The Land in Between. I remember the time when I didn't know what to do. I remember the time, hope nowhere in sight. I remember the time when it didn't seem all that worthwhile. I remember the time when 25 was just old. Nobody seemed to care. Not my friends, not my family, not even me. I remember the time when I wasn't sure why I should even try. I remember the time when trying didn't do any good. There's a glimmer of light, you've seen it before. Comes in praising God, asking direction. This glimmer of light will show you the way. A passageway from the land in between. Mistakes by the time I was your age, with plenty more as I travel along the way. Perhaps the hardest thing is that feeling of loneliness, not your friends or your family know what to say. There's a glimmer of light, you've seen it before. Comes in praising God, asking direction. well, I'll do two more songs. I'm going to go a little bit over. Since I did the land song, I thought I'd do another land song because I think I think of it as a great national song. I seem to misplace the capo. Maybe it's under, there it is. This Land is Your Land, Woody Guthrie in 1944. And I think this is a great reason that we have Memorial Day, the reason that we fight for our country is we have a beautiful country. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway, and saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled and followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond desert, and all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California, from the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. When the sun comes shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, voice was chanting and the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Well, I always like to end my Sunday session, Sunday Travelin Bob Music Hour session with God's Lighthouse. And I think it's a great song to think about as we go through our troubled times. Maybe we're in God's lifeboat. At times there's so much joy. You can see so clearly, you can see so clearly, you are one with Him. These times so full of delight, you can see so clearly, you can see so clearly, you are one with Him. You can see God's lighthouse shining over the sea. When you see God's lighthouse off in eternity, lighthouse, you feel alone and spurned, like a hurricane inside your head. The waves toss and turn, you're looking for the lighthouse, you feel alone and spurned. But you're in God's lifeboat, helping you through the storm. When you're in God's lifeboat, it keeps you safe and warm. God is with us every day, as we live as one with His everlasting love. Together now through the years, we'll see the beauty of this world. And even in dark days, His love will hold us still. Together we see God's lighthouse shining over the sea. Together in God's lifeboat, all for eternity. Together we see God's lighthouse shining over the sea. Together in God's lifeboat, for all eternity. Together we see God's lighthouse shining over the sea. Well, I hope you have a good Memorial Day weekend, and be thankful, and try to have some joy through this weekend, even though maybe you're not having the big Memorial Day picnic or family event that you might normally have. Maybe you can do some Zoom or something different. Tomorrow I'll be doing another Memorial Day performance to be a little different. We'll have less religious songs and some other things, more of those country Memorial Day songs, you know. The country genre definitely hits Memorial Day as well as anybody. A little bit of folk, a little bit of country. That's kind of what Memorial Day is about. And if you want, come back tomorrow. Come again. We'll do a little different thing. But I hope you have a good Memorial Day service, whatever that is. Take care.